All right, cool guys. So this is the third time I'm making the same video. The first two times the audio was crap. So now I'm using my built-in headphones, tested it, everything looks good. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be setting up a virtual private server, a VPS through VPS Cheap. So we have access to a terminal and to a computer will be facing the internet so that we can load up our Rails and React apps. So I used VPS cheap because they're literally cheap as hell for a server and they're pretty easy to use. So if you go to home, you can click on see server choices and they have all these different choices that you can choose from. I went with the $28 a year. I actually paid 15 bucks for 6 months. Um, but I kind of wish I would have done this one. It's $40 for the year or $21 for 6 months. It gives you a little bit more storage space and you get 1 gig of RAM on your server instead of 512 megs. All right, so what you want to do is you just want to click on launch one, put in all your info in this page here, the server that you want, blah, blah, blah. I go with Ubuntu 16.10, host name, whatever you want your host name to be. It could be your name, it could be your domain name, doesn't matter. You hit continue and then you sign up. Once you sign up, you just want to log in with your email and password. So you would come here. Oh, okay, and once you're logged in, this is your dashboard, and this is the server that we have running. If you click on the server, it's going to take you to the server's dashboard page. Okay, and over here you can see that it's online. This is the host name. This is the IP address that we will use to connect to it. This is the bandwidth that we've used so far. This is the current memory being used up by the server. That's a lot for some reason. It's at 41%. And the amount of hard drive space that we have left. So I'm actually going to rebuild this server from scratch because we are going to do this all from the very beginning so that you guys know step by step what you need to do to set this up. So when you hit rebuild, we're going to come all the way down and we're going to choose Ubuntu 16.04. You're going to click rebuild. Now I'm going to pause this here because it's going to take a minute or two. It says virtual server is being built. When you wait like a minute or two, just click the tails. And let me pause this. Once it's done, it'll take you to the back to the dashboard page. Okay, so we're back to the dashboard. As we can see, the server is offline. It's still not ready. It should be ready very shortly. Okay, once your server comes up online, you're going to see that this is online right here. Okay, and then we have this nifty little thing here. This is HTML5 serial console. If you click on that, you're going to get another window that pops up, and it's a terminal just like we have on our Macs. So here we are the root user. Soon we're going to be changing this to another username. Root should only be reserved for like special things that you do. But the first thing that we want to do is we want to increase the SSH connections timeout because when we're installing Ruby or NPM, it's going to take forever to load. And if we're not sending any new commands, the server will think we are offline and it'll just boot us off and it'll leave your installation halfway through. And then you're going to have to do it all over again. And it's a nightmare when you got to spend hours trying to install Ruby and it never really installs and you don't know why. So what we want to do is we want to cd into the etc directory /ssh. Okay, from here there is a file called sshd-config right here. So what we want to do is we want to we got to update this sudo apt-get update, and this will just update our Ubuntu with anything that we might be missing since this last release. Should be fairly quick. All right, and now we're going to type in nano, which is just a text editor that's on the command line, sshd_config. All right, and then all the way at the bottom of this file, you just want to type in client alive interval, set this to 120. And then you want to do client alive count max and set this equal to 720. Okay, and what this does is pretty much essentially leaves your connection alive for 24 hours before it shuts down. Make sure everything is spelled correctly. Client alive interval and it's camel case. Then we have client alive count max and it's camel case. Okay, once that's done, you want to type hit Control O, okay, and then hit return. This will save your file with the same name. So say file name to write, it's that one. Okay, and then we could just do Control X, and we are out of here. Cool. All right, so the next step is to create a new user that we will be using because we don't want to use the root user. So what we want to do is we want to type add user and then your name, hit enter. It's going to ask you for a password. Make sure your password is secure because people want access to your server. All this stuff you don't have to fill out after the password. I like putting in my full name, but besides that, you can leave all that stuff blank. Doesn't make a difference. Once that's done, let's see what groups this new user belongs to. So you type in groups and then your username. So Yoan just belongs to the Yoan group. That's not good. We also want to be in the sudo group. That way we can have a little more access when we're installing software. So what we want to do is we want to type in user mod -ag sudo new, Yoan. So this is user mod. It's going to modify the user. We're going to add them to a new group. All right, and the group name is sudo, and then the username is Yoan. All right, that's all that is. So now when we type in groups Yoan, Yoan is also a member of the sudo group. All right, cool. So now this is done. Let's log out of this secure shell connection here. You could actually also change your root password through this little tab here, but that's for noobs. So one of the cool things about having a VPS is that you could actually SSH directly into it by doing SSH from your terminal, your username. All right, this is the user we just created. And you type in @ and this is just this IP address that's right here. Okay, so once we do that, it's going to ask us for our password. And there we are. We are logged in to Yoan at hostname Yoan. All right, very cool. So the next step that I'm going to show you is how to set up your DNSs so that you can actually SSH to Yoan and then your domain name, like so, and have access. And this is where our websites and everything are going to live. So that's where we need to set up the DNS servers. All right, cool. So you saw that we logged into Yoan instead of yoanante.com instead of this crazy IP address. So let's exit, and I'm going to show you how it's done. What you want to do is you want to go, let's go back over here. Let me go back. This isn't too user friendly sometimes. Let's see, additional tools. Okay, so you want to come up here and then you want to go to domains and DNSs. Okay, click on that. And then you want to go to DNS management. Okay, so when you go to DNS management, you have this over here. You're going to put add a new zone. And then here's the IP address. And then you put your zone name would be your domain name. So mine is yoanante.com. And you click add zone. Okay, or whatever your domain name is that you've already purchased and own. Now, on your domain registrar's site, I use Google Domains. You guys maybe are using GoDaddy or somebody else, one of those big companies. But we have to set up the DNS, the name servers on their end too. So if you are in the main page of Google Domains, you will click on the one that you want to edit. Okay, and then you go to DNS. okay, or domain name servers or name servers. If it's on GoDaddy, just look around for DNS servers and you're going to find something similar. So here is the name servers. It's defaulted on use Google domain name servers, but what we're going to do is we're going to use custom name servers instead. And then those name servers are cdns1.vpscheapinc.net and cdns2.vpscheapinc.net. Okay, and if you want to find it another way, you just want to put VPS cheap DNS servers, and you should be able to find them. Oh, here you go. I've clicked on it in the past. You can see how do I point my domain names to my VPS, and you'll be able to find them that way too, in case somewhere around there it'll be, in case you want to find them that way. But here they are. Write them down. This is what you got to put into your DNS. Okay. Once that's done, you hit save. You should be able to log in the way that I showed you. Actually, it takes a while. These records take several hours because this has to be updated for the entire internet. So once those servers update, then you'll be able to SSH into your account. So if you can't SSH right away, just give it some time. If you can't SSH using your domain name right away, just give it some time and just use your IP address for now. Within a couple of hours, your stuff should have propagated and you should be able to use your domain name server. But if it doesn't work right away, don't sweat it. It's just what I said. It takes a while for it to propagate through the internet. All right, so cool. In the next video, we are going to start installing some software. Check you on the next one.